morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, to this new video on Azure. Today, I'm here to give you an overview on Azure Security Center, how to price this, and what problem does it solve. So the first question arises is that what is Azure Security Center? So Azure Security Center is one of the services which is offered by Azure, which gives you a holistic view of what is happening in your environment, whether it's on-prem, in Azure environment or hybrid kind of environment. So yes, you can use this in hybrid kind of environment too. So if I go to the Azure pricing calculator and scroll down under security, you will see that I have a security center. So if I pick this, it comes in two flavor. So when you use Azure and go to the Azure portal, by default you get a free tier of security center. So obviously it's a free tier and it's had limited functionalities. The paid version in this one is the standard tier. So you can see the free and the standard, and it goes by how many nodes you want to secure this. So if I move this to one node, you will see that it is $18.24, and yes, this is a Canadian dollar, so it is close to $15 for the US dollar. You can change the currency over here. So it depends upon how many nodes you want to assess and analyze, and on the basis of that. So if I have 5 nodes, obviously you'll move that to 5, and that gives you how much it's going to cost per month. Another thing over here is that if I go into the pricing detail, there's also something what you call the data that it's going to analyze. So if I scroll down, so it's free and the standard gives you the difference between the two tier. But the important thing here is that the including data that any of these services will be analyzing. So by default, it is 500 MB per day. But if you go more than that, obviously there's gonna be a charge for that. So the additional charges, additional data uploaded over including daily data, which is 500 MB. It's gonna be 280 per gig, and additional retention beyond. So if you want to keep this beyond 1 month, it's gonna be $0.13 per gig per month. So that's another thing that you need to keep in mind. That security center is computed by how many nodes you want to analyze, and secondly, if it's gonna be more than 500 MB, and for how long you want to keep that data retention, this is gonna be charged. So that's gonna be the charge for that. But in most of the cases, I think that should be more than enough, which is 18.24 if I'm talking about Canadian dollar. Okay, so I hope that the pricing is clear. So let me just quickly flip over to my Azure subscription. So the security center, as I said, by default it's a free version that you get. That is what I have in my environment over here, but you can always change it to standard. The first 60 days are free, there is no charge for that. And from the left side you can see that I have security center, so I'm going to click on this, and this gives me a complete view of what I have. In my case, it is only on the Azure environment. I don't have anything on-prem, but you can utilize security center for those kind of scenarios too. So the first thing is the overview, which give you complete picture, and you have recommendation, security solution, compute networking, all those things that you can go over here. But let me just click on the recommendation. And you can see that it compiles based on different factors, what is at risk and what actions I can take. The first thing I will pick is endpoint protection not installed on Azure VM. So I have 3 VMs, and give me the severity in this case. So let me just click on this, and it is asking me to install on all the 3 VMs. So I can click on this and I can install Microsoft anti-malware. This is the Microsoft solution, but if you have any third-party solution, which I think gonna be more robust, you can utilize that too. So it gives me those functionality right from the portal. Let's look at the second option. So add a next-generation firewall. So yes, if I want to add a next-generation firewall, I can click on this. I can pick my say, let me pick my domain controller, and I'm going to click on create new, and in this case it should be most of the third-party solution, because as we all know that Microsoft is not that much into the firewall solution. So it give me Barracuda, Checkpoint, Cisco, Fortinet. So I can pick any of these and I can implement the solution to secure my Azure resources when it comes to firewall. So similarly, you can see the complete list. The idea here is that the Security Center gives me all these options and recommendation which I can work upon. Other thing is that under the prevention, I have a compute networking storage. So let me just go and click on compute and gives me an overview. So as I said that I have not installed any agent because to use this security center, you need to have some sort of agent sitting on my servers. But if I go under the VM and computer, you will see that I don't have any computer over here. And if I click on add computer for log analytics workspace, it is asking me to deploy the agent. So that's why you will not see any of the virtual machine. But if I can go under the security policy and pick my subscription, you can see that data collection is off. That's why you don't see any of those VMs listed over here, and you don't see that much activity in my security center because I have not auto provisioned. And once I switch it on, you will see that there's going to be more activity, more alerts based on whatever configuration, and obviously more recommendation that I'll see within the portal. And same thing, security policy. By default, it's going to be on when I put the data collection, and I can have the email notification. I can put my phone number. I can have my contact email. It can send alert to me. And if you want to look at the pricing tier, it gives you again the difference between the free and the standard tier. Which is going to be the cost. This is the US. The one that I showed you was in Canadian dollar. So you can get all those things from here. Now, another thing that I really like about this is that one of the common problem that people have when they deploy these resources within Azure or hybrid kind of environment is that most of these hackers, they try to hack into your management ports, whether it's RDP ports or SSH port. So under advanced cloud defense, you have something what you call just-in-time access, just-in-time VM access. So if I pick this, you can see that I have not configured anything. If I go under the recommended, you will see that it gives me the severity of because I have not secured anything in this case. If I pick just say for example my DC 2016, it can ask me to enable just in time on this one VM, and you can see that it is asking me to use any of these ports, whether it's SSH or RDP port, but just in time can be used to apply on any of the ports. So let's say for example I want to use the port 22, and I'm going to expand this, and I can specify over here for this port I can allow the source IPs, and I can specify for how long these ports will be available to give me more security around, so that I can protect this from the bad guys who are trying to access it over the management port. But as I said, you can apply just in time this functionality to apply on any of the ports that you want to do, and I can click on OK, and that port will be locked only for this allowed source IPs that I'm going to specify and for this amount of time. So really great functionality within Azure Security Center. So you can see that this gives you a complete view of what you have in your environment, gives you recommendation, and then you can use this to protect your environment within Azure, hybrid or on-prem. So I will definitely recommend you should have a look at this one to get a better idea and secure your environment within any of these kind of environment. I hope you found this video useful on Security Center within Azure. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.